Boy, things are off to a good start here this morning. Loading out pulpwood. We missed our rain. Stevie's down there loading out that pulpwood, and Big Mama's up here. She's gonna start loading out this pulpwood. Me and Haji D. Well, there's one load of pulpwood. Look. Hey, ran out of my tracks. When note to Laura Wade, when you're doing YouTube videos, pay attention to what you're doing. Over. So anyways, he's chaining down Eddie Austin has got Whitey fixed. I highly recommend to going to his channel and checking that video out. That is a good, I'll send a link in the description. If I miss it, somebody please be a dear, look in the subscription and see if my dumb butt remembered to do it. If I hadn't, holler at me, I'll catch you in the comments and I'll get in there and put the description in there. And Eddie, if you see this, jump in there and send me the description or whatever to your video, whatever, I'll get it in there. I'm just trying to cover a few bases here. I get forgetful. But me and Roger Dodge, Big Daddy's got, you want a sandwich? Num, num, nummy. Num, num, nummy. So me and Roger is heading back here. Big Daddy's got us set up for the last stretch of this project, this job. We got a clear cut on the back side of this on a ditch. Small diameter, ought to be pretty easy gravy cutting and stuff. But we got rain coming tomorrow, so we're right back to dialing up the temperature gauge. And Blackie, my poor baby, has a little flatsy tire on it this morning. I don't know what it did Saturday, doing them videos with y'all, but I blowed my damn tire off. Well, this morning's going pretty good. We're down here, Odgy Dodgy and Stevie and Robin's up there eating their dinner time right quick. And we're clear cutting this, completely clear cut. I let that poplar stem stand. I ought to knock him down. That sun will bake that son of a buck and tear him up. See, that's the thing. You got to let this stuff grow together. You can't be onesies and twosies sticking out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it looks a little rough. Those of you that's professional buncher operators will probably gouge me on that, but what they don't know won't hurt them. Oh, they know now because I shared it. I got a little strip. You can see sunlight on the other side there. I got a little strip right down here, and then I got to cross this ditch right down here below Brutus and get up, and there's a little triangle-shaped corner up there. I got to get that. I think that's still clear cut over there. So probably a little too much wood to do in one day, but we're working at it. We're working at it. Okay, we got a ways ahead here. We had a little trouble with Tiny, the excitation wire on the starter, the startinator, and my AC's a peeing. Brutus had to pee. So my excitation wire on my alternator on Tiny is not exciting, so I jumper wired it to get the day in. I got a spot where I think the wire's broke, but we'll deal with it later. Stevie has to go to the doctor. I don't know what's up with Stevie, but he got to go to the doctor. And not to make things embarrassing on Stevie, but he don't want to talk about it. So I don't know what it is. Oh. All Stevie's buddies on here, get a hold of Stevie and ask him if he's okay. That would be doing our part. Ask Stevie if he's okay. So, I'm coming out here to run the denda, and Stevie said, you better bring that camera, because he said, I want to watch you struggle on it. And I loaded one truck out with Stevie there and cut up a couple logs with Stevie there, just so he was there while I got back in the swing of things. It's been a while since I ran a den, so I'm not exactly your most experienced den operator anymore. But meet DP and Let's Dig 18, we went down there to Valvo, and them two kind of broke me back in, so I think I can handle it. Roger. Roger's after one thing, a big whipping. We'll pull him out of there, smack him on the bottom. That's what he needs.
see the amount of wood that skidder's bringing up. We'll get Tiny back here in a minute and you'll see how much wood's going out with him. And look how hard Roger has to fight to pull these up there. Man, when you're dragging them as opposed to hauling them, it's a big difference in economics. So we'll head up here and relieve Stevie. Crystal's on the way to get him. Then we'll get to rocking and rolling on the din here.
Okay, those of you that's pretty fresh to the channel, it's not been on here very long. I used to run this thing. This used to be my job. But we didn't have a truck at the time, and we wasn't doing this setup, and I'm rusty. I'm not good with the chainsaw bar anymore. I just got it. So it's taking me a while to get settled in. Stevie's real slick on this thing. And I got some videos in the past of him running this thing. Now the chain is binding up, the daggone bar's got problems, but that's taking me a little bit to get used to too. And loading this truck, it's I've loaded it a couple times in the past, but not very much. And getting the right angle, it just feels weird, especially when you're raising uphill to do it, because your cab's kind of low and the way the logs stick out. It's not like putting dirt up in there where you just kind of dump it. You gotta kind of position your logs and stuff. It seems like I don't know. It just don't feel right. But it's gonna take me a little bit to get my sea legs here because I'm kind of floundering around trying to get used to this thing. I'm trying to keep the momentum running and keeping the wood moving. And I'd say by the end of the day, by the time we get done, we're gonna be pretty much caught up with me cutting. So either way, it's probably, I don't have to run against the clock probably. It's probably about right, timed about right to run out of wood right about the end of the day. But I'm gonna load this wood up in the back of this dump truck, and Tiny here, and then get the rack, and me and Roger's gonna head down into that clear cut that I was working on Brutus, and we're gonna set up down there in the clear cut where all Roger's got to do is just skid them trees and pop him up in that clear cut, and then we'll move the yard down there. That soft ground Roger was skidding through, Tiny will go through that way better. But I got a crossing down there that I think I'm going to have some trouble with, being rusty, being green loading the truck, but being rusty, you know, green, not knowing what I'm doing too right on these logs sticking out the back when he goes through the dip. You'll see here in a minute. But let me get the last of this loaded, and then we'll head down there and get set up in the bottom. It's hard to tell by the way the camera is here, but this road's silent to the left. So I'm pulling a little bit from the right side and throwing it over to the left side here, the lower side. So it levels Tiny up more when Tiny comes out. And then Tiny will kind of walk and smash dirt in and stuff, but kind of where it belongs. The idea is so the top of the truck, Tiny's so tall you don't want the top of the truck leaning towards the trees and stuff like that. So you kind of level it out, and then your hard ground's on your right. That's will be softer stuff on the left downhill side. Then we'll get down here and we'll work on this cross. So what we do here now is we put this, in this crossing, I'm putting some wood down in the bottom because there's water draining through this ditch. See that down there where the wood is? Water's draining down through that ditch. Try and put this wood in so Tiny can, the idea is that it'll hold your vehicle up out of the bottom of the ditch. It'll kind of try to take the place of a culvert and a corduroy road at the same time. It don't work perfect. We might have to come back in and straighten this back out later if we start backing up water. And you don't want water running on each side and it starts saturating the bank. And then you start, next thing you know, you start dragging water up the hillside and stuff and start turning regular dry mud into freaking hog wallow. You know what I mean? So you got to try to watch that. Now I'm rusty and it's all get out here. And that chain, that daggone bar binding up on me ain't helping me none. It is Stevie don't notice it because he's used to operating this thing and he don't pick up on but it's bent a little bit to where your chain tries to bind up for you, unless you got your head held just right. And that's beach that I'm cutting up there. That's on it and stuff. But it's hard for me to make the cuts right because of the way the bar is and me being rusty and probably not that good anyways. But and what Roger's doing, he's kind of dragging them. I got all the butts sticking uphill so he could kind of pull them up to me. Then I'm going to try to strip them real quick and get this truck moving because the truck's probably already waiting on me. I need to get this stuff moving, you know, and the thing is right there, you need to be, it ain't time to be trying to knock the rust off. It's time to get the wood moving, you know. So it's kind of stressful trying to get that stuff moving and going. Let me look out the window here. No, it didn't show. I was gonna say look through the window and see if the truck's coming here. But he's gonna back in. I'm gonna try to load him up. Oh yeah, I am loading him in the middle. I can't remember. I just stepped in here to edit. So, but I think I kicked the chain off here eventually. Maybe it's right here. Listen for the chain. Okay, being rookie here, I left that wood, you see that beech and that little cherry sticking out the bottom. Well, look at him go through this dip. It starts dragging him off the truck. Daggone it. So I'm gonna have to rethink. Look at it, come on. Oh gosh, he's falling off, bud. So I'm gonna have to rethink what I'm doing, because it turns out I don't know what I'm doing. Then also get this chain put back on this din so we can do something with it. So I'm gonna shut this off now and try to get my wits about me. It's getting a bit long anyways. Try to come back next time if you don't care, and let's see if I can get this thing figured out. See if I can get some of this rust knocked off of me, and get more use of this chainsaw bar, get used to loading this truck right so it can make it through, so Roger don't have to back down there and pull the trees back every time. And see if we can, look at that son of a buck. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Daggone chain. So anyways, come back and check out the next one and see if we get this figured out before we have to just give up, shut the crew down, and wait for Stevie. Everybody have a good one later on.
Whatever. Just whatever. Just whatever. Yeah. I'm rusty. Stevie goes, "Can you do this while I go to the doctor?" "Oh yeah, no problem, Stevie. Rusty as hell, and everybody's waiting on me." Great time. Great timing. Love her. Let's see if we can figure it out from here. Alright, first I'm gonna flip him up. What the hell? Where's the chain at, son of a...
Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell. Thanks for watching the video, and make sure to get that walkway.com merch. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
We love you. See you.
He's like them little rings.